Maya Tsereteli is a Georgian medical doctor. She studied medicine at York University in the United Kingdom and epidemiology at the Center for Disease Control in the United States. She loves a challenge. So what is the most challenging thing she can think of? It's visiting the government shelter for abandoned children. When she walks in, the caregivers are watching television. The children are off in a corner, idle and ignored. And stuffed animals and toy cars given by well-meaning donors, they are on the top shelves of a cabinet, well out of reach of the kids. But Maya is a white tornado. She turns the place upside down. She plays with the children and gets them playing with each other. Most respond quickly. Some are more of a challenge. Then she liberates the toys and stuffed animals. She hoists kids up high enough to pick what they want from the top shelf. The spell of neglect broken, toys in hand, the children take it from there. Maya manages World Vision's Prevention of Infant Abandonment and Deinstitutionalization Project, PEAD for short. Its aim is to keep children out of government institutions. How? It's easier to convince a mother to keep her child than to take it back. World Vision opened a shelter for mothers considering or under pressure to give up their babies. Just one condition: spend a few months with the baby in the shelter and be willing to simply consider not giving it up. The weeks of bonding, the warmth and acceptance of staff, and living with other single mothers and their infants transform the women. The shelter also offers vocational training, grants and loans, and employment services. Social workers connect with the new grandparents, initially obsessed with the shame of an unwed pregnancy, and with the children's fathers. The results are impressive. A mother abandons a child for all manner of reasons. High on the list are poverty, lack of skills or a job, a child with a birth defect, the stigma of being unmarried, and family pressure. Tamuna, 22, and her baby son Luca have been at the shelter just 2 weeks. Her boyfriend married someone else when she was 4 months pregnant. "I lived at home hiding my belly for 8 months," she told me. "When my parents found out, it was terrible." Tamuna's mother wants her at home, but her father is furious. "What will people think?" he says. "Since my son was born, the joy and happiness outweigh everything else. The staff here are so warm, and being with other women in my situation, well, I thought I was the only person to have made such a mistake." Tamuna is now going to keep Luca. Social workers encourage Luca's grandmother to keep visiting him. Grandmothers are often the lever that leverages family reconciliation. Nino is 23, with a 3-year-old daughter. As a teenager, a stranger attacked and raped her as she walked home one night. She went to the police. They laughed at her. Her 2 brothers pressured her to leave the baby at the maternity hospital right after birth. She wanted to keep it. The family tug-of-war was so stressful, she lost her sight. At the shelter, she found acceptance and practical assistance, laser surgery on her eyes, contact lenses, and help for both her and one of her brothers to find jobs. And more important, healing months of refuge at the shelter. How is it now? "My brothers love Marie," she said. "They are mad about her. And as every mother says, she's beautiful and very clever." Marie was sick the day I met Nino, and we couldn't meet her. Most of the young women coming to the shelter are country girls. No job skills, they come to the city for work, meet a nice boy, and when they get pregnant, they are abandoned. They are lost. Their self-image is shattered, they have deep guilt, and they are angry, Maya says, and they can't believe someone is willing to take them in. The shelter was started by World Vision, 2 Georgian government ministries, and UNICEF. It has since been handed over to the government. The shelter will soon open a daycare center, as so many of its graduates are working or running their own businesses. PEAD puts the word out about its service through doctors, hospitals and clinics, TV and radio. They soon will be training the police, maybe some of the police who laughed at Nino. There are no shortages of challenges. The biggest is changing social and institutional attitudes, says Maya, as evidenced by the visits to the shelter for abandoned kids. So how best to accomplish such change? Maya's answer is simple: slowly, slowly, slowly.